I've been out on vacation for a couple of weeks, and so I wasn't able to get any devotions out. So we're going to start today again, Jeremiah chapter 37, verses 13 and 14. When he was at the Benjamin gate, a sentry there named Irijah, the son of Elmiah, the son of Hananiah, seized Jeremiah the prophet, saying, "You are deserting to the Chaldeans." And Jeremiah said, "It's a lie. I'm not deserting to the Chaldeans." But Irijah would not listen to him and seized Jeremiah and brought him to the officials. Now, often the servants of God may be falsely accused of things. And so why is this the case? Well, there are many connected reasons. One is that spiritual warfare is a reality, and forces of evil will try to thwart the work of God through a servant whom God is using mightily. In conjunction with this, those bringing the false accusation may just be pawns of these spiritual forces of evil waging war against the work of the Lord. Sometimes it can just be ignorance on behalf of the accuser. In other cases, it can be that the accuser does not like the servant or the message that the servant brings forth. I've experienced this type of thing on several occasions in my ministry in response to preaching tough, biblically true messages. Generally, these things are done softly through lengthy letters or emails filled with vile accusations. These do hurt, especially when they come from people who you love and for whom you care very much. And sometimes the accusations are done in a harsher manner. I knew a pastor that was physically attacked by a deacon in a monthly deacons meeting one time. I once had a parishioner go to our associational office attempting to have my ordination credentials removed because of something they did not like in the vision I had for the church. Here in this passage, we see an issue of spiritual warfare against the prophet Jeremiah. Of all the prophets in the nation at the time of Jeremiah, Jeremiah was the one who spoke the truth of God. However, the people did not like the message he brought. It was not what they wanted to hear. As it was a brief time of peace in Babylon, Babylon had withdrawn from their assault on the nation. Jeremiah had business to do in the land of Benjamin. That's the background of this passage, this section. And it was to receive his portion of a property of there. And for this, he had to leave Jerusalem for that land. At the city gate, he was apprehended by a guard and accused of deserting the nation and going over to the enemy, that is Babylon. The guard would not listen to Jeremiah, and subsequently Jeremiah was beaten and placed in a damp dungeon. Now here is the point. We are in a spiritual battle against evil in this world. The battle is fierce. It is a battle for truth, and the enemy does not want the truth of God to prevail. Often people will bring false accusations against God's servants. Even those in the church will bring such accusations at times. And while sometimes they may have valid concerns, in many cases there are either misunderstandings or disagreements at the core of these things. In either case, the issue is one of spiritual conflict. Now, there is a correct and incorrect way to handle such issues in the church. The scriptures tell us not to bring an accusation against an elder except by 2 or 3 witnesses. Moreover, even here the scriptures exhort one with the accusation to go to the person directly. It has been my experience that unfortunately people would rather make the bold accusation without actually going to the person and in Christ-like love discussing it. Friends, if you disagree with someone or something the pastor or elder has preached, go to him and discuss it personally. Do not stir up a posse around you to lynch the man. 99% of the time, the issue will be resolved and harmony will be maintained in the church in this way. If the pastor is wrong or his words confuse people, he will clarify it the next time he meets with the congregation. At least I would. Yet, it just might be that you are wrong. But in either case, work the issue out with an attitude of love and humility.